Hey, family. Oh, higher power has been directing me to talk about an epiphany that I had. I love epiphanies. They're a rush. Um, so I wrote it on paper. It may not make much sense, but I'll try to make it make sense. And my name is Shelly, and this is the Sober Psychic channel. Please give us a like, a subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and leave me a comment, please. I would really appreciate it, and I will get back to you if you do that. So I wrote the epiphany down. Here it is. Am I really happy, or am I just relieved because I've walked away from people, places, and things that cause me stress or pain at the cost of being loved and loving another or others? And then I wrote down avoidance versus letting go. Avoidance versus letting go. So I'll give you an example. I had whom I thought was a friend of the opposite sex. Um, I get along very well with people of the opposite sex generally. Uh, and we were going to the same support group together. He would pick me up and we go. And we were there a couple of weeks ago, and on the way home, he touched me inappropriately. He put his hand on my leg and then ran his hand up my leg. Now, I was in shock. I couldn't even respond to that. But I do remember turning around, looking at him, and going, "Did you just touch me?" I don't like to be touched. Unless I know you very well, or we're giving each other a hug, or if I know you well, you're talking, and before I walk away, I'll pat your arm or I'll pat your hand or something. So that I can do, but at my discretion. I don't like being touched when I didn't give you permission to touch me. So, as I said, when he did it, I was in shock. And then I get back home and I tell my son what happened. And that's when it starts to process for me. The inappropriateness of it. Now, I argued with myself, "Oh, Shelly, you're just being oversensitive. You're just being a baby." And I ran that by some people in some of my support groups. What, am I being too sensitive? Am I just being a big baby? A big whiny ass? And everyone said no. So I needed to hear other people besides me validate that my feelings aren't wrong. My feelings about the situation are not incorrect. They're not wrong. So that was a relief. And it helped me allow myself to feel whatever I was feeling. Now, generally, I would feel anger. That's my go-to emotion, as it is with many addicts and alcoholics. You do something wrong to me, I'm mad. Something doesn't go my way, I'm mad. You hurt my feelings, I'm mad. You speak to me in a certain way, I'm angry. And again, just my go-to emotion. That's getting better, though, through the grace of a higher power. I need somebody's grace because sometimes I don't have my own. And I appreciate it being given to me when I need it. So, anywho, now my MO is to allow you to walk all over top of me several times. I had a 11-year relationship with the same person, and I allowed this person to walk all over me hundreds of times. And I had to hold my real feelings about the things that happened in that relationship on his. Now, I did my dirt. I was an alcoholic and an addict, and I was using. I was in active use of both things. If I was drinking, my drug of choice is, "What do you got?" So that's my MO, is to allow people to walk all over me. It's very common, as I said, with addicts and alcoholics. And then, finally, I'd have enough, and my head would explode, and the crap would hit the fan, and the nastiness would ensue. And this time, when this inappropriate action took place, I processed it. because it's something that it's a character defect I've been working on, just allowing people to do whatever they want. So I am a recovering doormat, in case you've never heard me say that. I'm a recovering doormat. So through the advice of my sponsor type person from one of my support groups, and sharing the situation with other people in my support groups, I got the support that I needed. I got the validation that I needed. Now, I don't feel the need to be validated by other people, but I wanted to make sure I was doing the right thing and that I wasn't overreacting. So I got the go ahead, and at the end of the day, I'm going to do what I want. But I put it out there, so I'm taking the suggestions, and everyone had the exact same suggestion. Spoke about it to my sponsor person. Typed it up on the computer, these things I wanted to say. I was very diplomatic. I was very calm. I was very direct and to the point, but I wasn't mean. And I sent it to my sponsor, and he said, "That's perfect. That's exactly just the right amount of kicking his ass, and the right amount of taking your own responsibility." Whew. Excellent. So I mailed it out, and before I mailed it out, I blocked him on both of my phone numbers. So that is the type of person I attract. So this is why I'm afraid to get into any type of relationship. Seriously, even in my support group, there are people that I know fairly well, but we're not friends. And I have 0 friends outside of Alcoholics Anonymous. So I'm not supposed to say that word, and that's the second time I've gone over to retape this, and I'm not doing it again. So I don't have any friends in my support group. People that I know, people that are supportive in regards to being another alcoholic and or addict, or you know what I mean. But they're not friends, because I attract people who want to be inappropriate in some way, shape, or form. And I attract people who think that I'm lacking intelligence. I attract people who think I'm ditzy. I attract people who think that I am a doormat again, and that I'll do, if you told me to bend over and hurt myself and break my back, that I would do it. Yes, I used to be that person, but I'm not that person anymore. They're confusing a big heart for weakness. So this is the first time I have ever stopped a cycle of abuse, I guess, or narcissism, or whatever label you want to put on it. It's the first time I've stopped the cycle before it started. Ever. In my entire life. That's what happens when you get sober and clean. You learn how to start dealing with these character defects or these flaws. The common misconception between alcoholics and addicts is that we have to earn somebody's love. We have to earn somebody's respect. I mean, we all have to earn each other's respect to a point, but I come to any type of relationship with respect immediately, respecting you, because I expect the same thing back. And that may sound naive, but I can't come at every human being with this huge wall up. Right now it's a fence. You can look at me, but you can't touch me, and you can't get through. That's a step up from the wall. The wall has been knocked down. Now I'm looking at people through the fence, and I'm getting ready to allow other human beings into my life. I spent 54 years lonely. 54 years of my life lonely. And I'm 59 now. And that's how it took me 4 years of sobriety and clean time to get to the point where I was finally able, with the help of a higher power, to knock the wall down, so that I could at least look at what's out there and see if I actually want to be a part of somebody else's life or not, or to allow another person to be a part of my life, and not necessarily romantically. That's a piece of it, but that's not the whole. That's not the whole thing. Believe me. Excuse the background noise. So my question to myself was, am I really happy, or am I relieved that I don't have to deal with any potential pain or frustration that would come from having any type of relationship with another human being other than my family members, friends, romantic relationships, friends. I stay single because I'm scared. And it's not a relief anymore. Everyone needs other human beings around them. We weren't meant to be by ourselves. We were meant to have other people around us. So the question is, do I allow, and a little bit at a time, not all at once, believe me, I'll get freaked out. But the question is, do I allow, or begin to allow, other people into my life? So, there's some truth for you. I'm better out than in. I needed that. So if you're struggling with the same thing I am, blocking everything and everyone, anything that's a potential risk of pain, let me know in the comments. And thanks for stopping by.